citizenship be reassessed after it has already been granted to the person that followed the requirements? Now, many people believed in the past that citizenship, once they received the passport, the citizenship certificate, the naturalization, whatever it was, that they were citizens for life. But for some immigrants to Canada, that is no longer true. Now, in this video, we have to uncover this emerging story. But if you're looking for a plan B, if you're looking to exodus from America or the West, you want to pay attention and stay tuned to see which countries are adopting the same type of policy that Canada is doing to immigrants who are coming right now. Unfortunately, the email arrived quietly. There were no flashing sirens, there was no warning, no press conference, no dramatic sign that said, hey, you're about to lose access or could potentially lose access to your citizenship. But for a small group of newly naturalized Canadian citizens, they got an email just in the last 48 hours that said they are under citizenship reassignment. Now, let's be real here. Maybe from all the geopolitical risk factors, the trade war that happened last year, the declining tension that America has with Canada, and then also thinking about China and North Korea and all the folks in Iran, maybe Canada wants to play on the safe side and make sure these people are not intelligence agents, right? But on the flip side, worst case scenario, these are just regular citizens, but they're people that they no longer want in their country after already promising, going under oath, to give them this citizenship. Now, this story sounds really strange, right? Like you never thought in a million years that if you were naturalized, meaning you had been in that country for maybe a decade or so, that you would then lose that citizenship access, becoming a permanent resident indefinitely. But that's the name of the game in 2026, because you are in a World War III era. Even when they're saying peace, peace, we know there's going to be sudden destruction. We know what prophecy states. We also know that the West is on a steep decline, and so maybe they just don't have the room or the capacity to bring in any new Canadian people. But it is unfortunate because many Americans saw the new law that actually Canada themselves put out. Canada put out this law, and Canada said, you know what, if you're an American and you can trace back Canadian ancestry to the third or fourth generation, then you can become a naturalized Canadian citizen, or you get the right to Canadian citizenship without having to go through the naturalizing process. But it looks like they just revoked that and said, never mind, we don't have time for that because times are crazy. Now, according to these reports, the Canadian officials actually say that the issue is involving documentation, administrative processing, or information that may require additional verification. And let's be real, this is not a mass revocation of Canadian citizenship. This is not necessarily a cancellation of Canada's immigration policies that they now have, but this is definitely Canada shrinking the pool of people that are able to immigrate to their country. And it seems like it's going to increase, because I can't imagine they put forth this email and sent this to a small group. We don't know how many a small group is. It could be 100 people. It could be 500 people. It could be 20 people. But this group of people has been identified. And I do wonder, from the Canadian perspective, what were the triggers and the flags that would make them unwanted, or just that they needed additional documents after mind you, they already gave the citizenship. So this is not the type of situation where they were applying for their residence and then they needed their birth certificate and forgot to put it in there. No, this is the type of situation they filled out all the requirements, gave the papers in to Canada's embassy, Canada's immigration department, and then after Canada said everything's all good, they're saying, hey, we're gonna have to reassess that. We may decide to just strip you of your citizenship altogether, which is why this is a little weird. It's sounding a little reminiscent of what Portugal did. If you do not know what Portugal did, Portugal, for lack of a better term, low-key scammed, okay? They low-key scammed like thousands of Americans, Canadians, United Kingdom citizens who invested in their golden visa for their property and did not end up getting any type of permanent residence. They were supposed to go with that golden visa And so now the Americans, the Canadians, the United Kingdom citizens have filed a group lawsuit against Portugal as a whole. Now, if you hear these stories and you're like, this sounds absolutely insane, relocating abroad, acquiring residency, understanding your global mobility strategy sounds like something where you maybe need another set of eyes. Maybe you need two sets of eyes, actually, from people who have lived abroad. See, my husband and I, we created this media channel 6 years ago in 2019 when we decided to travel and move to Africa. I know that sounds so extreme, and it was extreme because we were literally just running through the airport in Istanbul, Turkey in the middle of a pandemic. But my friend, it all panned out greatly so, and we have enlarged our family, our businesses, our investments, and obviously this media company in the process. But see, we have the State of the Diaspora that's coming up and the Mature Adult Intensive, links in the description. See, one of them is a group session that's 90 minutes long, the State of the Diaspora, with 8 other traveling families. The other one is a 4-week intensive that covers 40 pages of curriculum where we are guiding you through so that you do not have to be exhausted Google searching like you are right now, finding on YouTube what are the newest residency requirements, what's going to be best for me as an American, what's best for me as somebody that's 48 years old, what's best for me as someone that has a business, where should I relocate, how do I relocate, what things do I need to do on the American side financially wise, global mobility wise, assessing geopolitical risk wise, like in this circumstance. What do you need to do? If those questions are questions you need answered and you know you don't want to go through it alone, check out the link in the description to join the Mature Adult Intensive Cohort 8. Best case scenario, you click learn more and you join that intensive that only, by the way, has 5 spots available. Worst case, you read that 7 to 10 page enrollment guide and you actually learn something new about relocation that you did not know before. But let's talk about the bigger story here, the underlying story. See, governments are increasingly scrutinizing citizens, non-citizens, travelers, humans in general, because we are in a World War III scenario. We are in a world where geopolitical indicators point towards chaos. We are in a world where people just don't have the capacity, these governments, these countries, where in the old days they're like, yeah, everybody come through. Now they want to know who you are, what you represent. And maybe in the Canadians' cases, some of these new Canadians, maybe it's an unfair type of thing where they actually were legit, but they get stripped of those citizenship rights. Governments have the right to do that, but you also, as a potential traveler, an expat, somebody that is even interested in this information, you also have the prerogative and the right for yourself to find countries that are more neutral, maybe aren't declining like Canada, maybe don't have as many geopolitical issues. When I think about Canada's geopolitical issues, I think back to months ago, even years ago, when President Donald Trump just put forth those trade wars. Remember that? Canada got hit pretty bad, and they're kind of looking to their European counterparts like, hey, what should we do? He puts these 25% tariffs. We're going to go with China, and they signed these agreements with China. And then they're like, wait, America and us aren't getting that along that well. I don't know if we should let these people in that were maybe new Americans becoming Canadians. Maybe we should just not let them in. Like, it feels like a lot of confusion. So you can go somewhere in the world like Southern Africa. I wouldn't even say Southeast Asia right now because unfortunately there's a lot of bad news coming out of Thailand and Vietnam. And I don't even live in Asia, okay? I've been living in Southern Africa, okay, for 6 years, technically Southeastern Africa, if you include our tenure in Tanzania, but you get the idea. Africa, the southern and eastern portions are the best bet. Why? Because they're pretty politically neutral. The exception is South Africa at this moment, but I literally live in an island in the middle of the Indian Ocean called Mauritius on the African tectonic plate. It's literally part of Africa. It's neutral, it's stable. You've probably never heard of it because nothing really goes on here. These are the type of locations that you want to live in. You don't want to live near a Colombia, near Venezuela, near a Peru where all of these atrocities happen and it's geopolitical turmoil here, up and down there. Canada, for me, Canada's too close to America. The United Kingdom is a no-go. France is a no-go. Germany, not interested. Dubai is definitely a no-go. So you want to be somewhere like an island off the coast of Africa that is truly forgotten about. And there's another island off the coast of Africa called Cape Verde on the western side of the continent that also has a type of digital nomad program. These are the countries you want to be in. Countries expats don't think about. Countries that don't see a lot of people that are from your country. Countries that kind of just go under the radar so that you also can chill out, go under the radar, run your business, retire, or do whatever it is that you want to do, like just eating real food, for example, that we do not get in America. If that's the type of thing that you're looking for, then an island nation may be your best bet. And remember this, the strongest relocation and global mobility strategy is not just getting approved, it's staying long term. 10 years, 20 years, renewable permanent residency into citizenship if that's what you're looking for, a legitimate one that won't pull the strings on you after they're done, okay? It's remaining organized in the short term and in the far term, and having your documentation in order, birth certificates, marriage certificates, getting all of your paperwork together and having copies of it, hard drives of it before you ever step on a plane to exit America. Because years later, when a government asks for those birth certificates again or wants to see who you are, wants to ensure everything's up to date, you want to know where those items are located. And then even thinking about the 30 U.S. embassy closures in Africa, okay? We have said this on this channel maybe last year. Everything is tied in, everything is connected, from the trade war down to the U.S. embassy closures, down to 30 new U.S. embassy closures happening on the African continent, seemingly overnight. Look, global mobility is increasingly rewarding those who think like archivists, who have global advisors, people in their back pocket that they can message, that they can get on their Zoom call with for 4 weeks straight and work these kinks out. More and more as we head toward 2030, we are seeing that they want to stop the movement of people. And if you're not wise in these times, if there's not a second set of eyes, if you don't know how to strategize and research, or if your research falls a little bit too short, you may also be locked out of traveling the world or just traveling in your region even when they want you to be under digital dollar, 15-minute cities, 5-minute cities, AI control. Don't be the person that waits until the last minute to figure out how to get out of this super hyper surveillance system. See, naysayers will tell you it's going to be the same everywhere. In America will be the exact same as Botswana and Tanzania and Kenya and somewhere out in the Pacific Ocean called the Solomon Islands. And they're going to be the exact same. Ma'am, sir, unfortunately, I hate to tell you, or maybe it's good that I tell you, they will not be the exact same for one core reason. The first world is different than developing nations. Developing nations who used to be made fun of for being bad countries and not having infrastructure. That lack of infrastructure will literally be the thing that saves these nations. Not having electricity that flows 24/7, 365 a year shows you that the AI super control surveillance system won't really be able to work that well on the African continent. This is why Africa is the last safe haven. This is why I've been here for 6 years and will probably spend the rest of my life here with my children and my children's children. And this is why you're watching this video, considering your best pathways to move and relocate to Africa. Now, if you want some more assistance after this video, you're like, do you have any other videos on this topic? Absolutely, I absolutely do. My family does. You should go ahead and listen to the Mauritius Africa playlist. The Mauritius Africa playlist is right here on this channel, waiting for you to binge watch it. You can also subscribe to members only. It's $10 per month, and you will unlock 100+ videos of my entire family's journey from Tanzania to Mauritius and beyond. Shalom, shalom. I'll see you in the next video. Let me know down below, what do you think of this Canadian new citizenship issue? A reassessment, a realignment? Are they kind of nervous at the people who are coming in? Or is this just their way of scrutinizing people who are already deep in trouble? Let me know.